Alright, there's decals for this panel and the red strips on the rear end, but I've painted them in. It's just easy enough paint, you just got to mask it off and it'll be better than a decal, the way I'm going with decals. So that is, I've mixed 1 part white, 1 part buff, 1 part yellow, and it's pretty close to the in the ballpark for me anyway. Near enough's good enough for me. I'll just spray them so let them dry a bit, and I'll just probably give them a coat of gauzy on there. You can use gauzy over normal paint as well as metal finish. So when I've done that, then I'll continue on doing the decals. I'm still working on the decals. They are still causing me grief. I just can't work these decals out. I don't want to sit into the recesses. They some do, some don't. Just so much trouble, and I don't know why. The finish is nice and smooth, so should be no problems. What I've been doing since early on now, when I first started having troubles, is I get a riveting wheel. So that decal there it's all carrier film basically, right up to the outside. But I just sit that on my mat. I'm just running it all the way along, probably about half a dozen lines. Don't worry, you won't, when it's on, you won't see them. It just helps get the air and water out, just all those tiny holes. It's assisting difficult decals basically. You can do it over coloured ones as well. So on the spine there, you can see that red part from there back to there, that's one decal, so it's all carrier film, and I've done that on there, and you can't see those little holes. Same as on the other side. Just, I don't know why these decals are so difficult. I've taped my nose on to the fuselage and marked the anti-glare line, so that's painted, that's masked off now. I'm about to paint the bottom of it, and I've put in the photo etch and the other parts into the side of the cockpit sill there where the canopy sits, and I've painted that all in. That's done. Then I've gone to dry fit old mate, and he doesn't fit because the fuselage curves up. His left arm won't go in. He's sitting, it's hanging over the sill, and I can't manipulate it because it's resin. And I don't want to go too much force or start breaking things, so I'm going to have to paint that part like that, put him in, and then I'm going to have to reattach his left arm and then tidy it up in situ and paint it, but that's just the best I can do with that. So that's unfortunate. I've painted the combing up. It's ready to sit in. I'll probably put a bit of clear orange paint on the underside of that before I put it in. Yeah, so I'm going to keep persevering with these painful decals. Alright, still plugging along with these painful decals. I wanted to just highlight or mention, if you're building this kit, the stencil decals, it's stencil data decals, like I mentioned earlier, like that's a long one. And it's got several different markings on it. There's a lot of them that go on this model, and how they tell you where they go, like the decal number, they're pointing to one spot. So like there's ones on the side here. It's goes from, I can be careful here, it goes from there back to here, and they'll point to one piece of data, not the 4, and they'll just have an arrow going here, and you need to try and work out, well, does it go that way or does it go that way? It's small picture, it's a big bloody model, and it's a bit vague. And when you go from top, side views to top and bottom, a couple of areas, the decal will overlap another decal, so you need to reposition it. So it's just, all I can say is be careful. It's like just a bit vague because it's, like I said, it's such a big aircraft. You got these great big long decals, and they're only pointing to one particular section, and you can't, some images you can't tell, does it go that way or does it go that way, and it's a bit frustrating. So to be honest, some of them I'm just guessing. Right, painted the nose cone and the pitot. So I've masked and painted the pitot, but according to them in the instructions, you use that one decal to wrap around and mark and put it on that way to do the marking, but it's not, according to that, that's not wide enough. But what I've done mightn't be right either, but basically anything you can paint is a win because the decals are painful. I've done decals on the sidewinder, and I've painted in the control surfaces on it, on them, and I've painted the canopy sections up, but I still need to, the main canopy, I have to do the inside work on it yet. The frame, back. Instructions are all over the shop too. No, I'm going too far. Or have I not gone far enough? Oh my goodness, I can't find it now. Anyway, there's a whole framework system that goes inside with the mirrors and everything on it. I've got to get that off the sprue, clean up the flash and the seam join part line, and glue on. There's several parts got to be glued onto that, and that attaches to the main canopy for it sits on. So that's got to be done as well. And I've made up and painted the sidewinder pylons that go under the belly. That they will need some stencil data decals on them too, I think. I have to go back and do them. Alright, finally, decals all on. I did get improvement towards the end. I think it was because I was piercing the decal carrier film, but I still can't understand why I had issues, because I've mentioned several times that the finish is very nice and smooth, but it is done now. The windscreen has the red side windows. That was one whole piece again, so I just cut the red lines off the carrier film. Otherwise you got carrier film covering that whole window, which I didn't particularly want. So basically doing that, I had 4 pieces that I had to put on. Alright, so that can just, I've just finished putting them on, something dry. Then I need to give it a coat of gauzy. I've done the bum with gauzy, so that's good to go. I just need to do from here up. So while that's happening, I need to just start painting all this up and fixing everything. So that's the frame I was talking about that goes inside the main canopy. There's a lot of flash on that. Or not flash, sorry, it's more the where the molds come together, the seam join. There's a lot of flash, I guess it's flash from that, where they sandwich together. And I still need to paint up my probe and rester hook, which won't take but a minute. What else will I do? I think that's just about it for painting. And then yeah, obviously I've got to sort that issue. Yeah, it's starting to get towards, then it's time for a wash, and putting it all together. I've well, it's not here at the moment. I've cut a base, pine base for it, big chunk of pine, and I've bought a piece of, where did I even put that? Acrylic. I couldn't get solid rod that fit the tailpipe, and I cannot believe how hard it is to find acrylic rod or acrylic tube. So this is tube. I had to get this from China, so I only just got it in a couple of days ago, and I've measured my, because there's an inner piece to that exhaust nozzle. It's smaller diameter, and I measured it, but I must have got it a bit wrong, so I had to sand that down to get it to go in. It's still a tight fit, but that's what I want because it's going to be vertical, so I'm not going to force the issue at the moment. So even though that looks nasty, you won't see it. And I will do a dry fit, and I'll paint my burner effect on the back at a later stage. But first of all, I need to start sorting out all this gear. Alright, I've just given the nose section the gauzy clear coat. I did the middle before. It doesn't take that long to dry, that stuff. I've painted up my pilot figure. It's not, I've mentioned many times, I'm not a figure painter, but you do the best you can. Once he's inside and under the canopy, you're not seeing a real lot anyway. So obviously I've got to still do the process of putting his arm on once it's inside, which I'm sure there'll be a few choice words spoken when I'm doing that, because I can't see that going to plan. I put a bit of clear orange in the under the HUD there. I think they're an orangey colour. And again, you're probably not really going to see that. I've painted. So I've got to put this in the canopy. I need to paint in the chrome on the mirrors. Yep, and I'll put that in. I've painted the refueling probe. I'll probably mask that tip and paint it a darker metal colour, I think they are. But that's pretty much everything's painted. It's just the weathering now, and I won't show you because I've done it. Just about every build I ever do is the dark dirt wash. For the I'll get it into those rivet details and panel lines, make it pop. And then I'll start putting it together. So this will be the last little build video, I think it will be, and then the next time we come back we'll be looking at the final display of the model. Alright, one more update. I just thought I'd show how, well, not how, I've got him in. I've attached the arm and I've mixed CA glue with this filler, which is a powder, to it dries quicker, and it's more of a putty mix, so I can get that join from the torso to the arm. Now obviously I need to paint that in when it dries. I've got the wash on the tail section. It's dry. I'm going to clean that up, and I'm probably going to, the wings and the tail, I'll probably give it a clear coat of semi-gloss clear. And when I do the fuselage with the wash, I might give it another coat of the gauzy. So getting there. Oh, that's the other thing I need to say is the lights, I drilled them out, so I'll use crystal clear with a toothpick to make the lights, and then when it dries I'll just put the paint on it. It's the navigation. I need to check the 4 on the rear end. The instructions say they're all red, so I'm going to need to see if I can find images. Are they navigation or are they just red lights? So check that out, and there's one there and one there that are just clear, so I'll do them as well, but that's after everything because I don't want to get wash and everything in it. Alright, apologies for the background, but I can't fit this thing in my photo booth. You can see the burner effect I've put into that tube. I've airbrushed that. The rings are orange, and then I airbrushed over the top of it with yellow, clear. Both those colours are clear, so Tamiya clear orange and Tamiya clear yellow. So I'm pretty happy with it overall. I was kept waiting for some extreme problem with the build, but there really wasn't any. Nothing major anyway, just little niggles. It's definitely a big beast, especially on the stand. So would I recommend the kit? Sure, why not? It's builds up to a nice model. I've probably made it easier by doing wheels up, because if I did wheels down, there would have been a lot of ejection pin marks that would have needed to be cleaned up on the inside of the doors and the electronics bay, etc. But even so, that it wasn't dozens or anything, but it's up to the builder, I guess, whether you want to take care of them or not. And the kit, I think this kit's around 150 Australian dollars, which these days is probably not too bad considering some of the prices I've seen lately of even 148 kits are getting right up there. So I'm going to try to take some still photos to add at the end of the video, but you see old mate in there looking out. I'll try and add some, well I will, but yeah, you'll have to excuse the background because it was where I normally do my final reveal video. Pictures is just too big. I'm sitting on the floor at the moment with styrofoam background. Yeah, so there she is, all done. Huge build, but enjoyable overall. Thank you for checking it out.